Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Before starting, subscribe and like the videos, it really helps. The content from this video are taken from the web novel and manga series of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Now please enjoy the video. Volume 9 Chapter 11 Backing Part 1 I'll protect Sylphy's honor. I think that while looking at the red stain remaining on the sheet, Sylphy gave something extremely important to me and saved me. I want to grant her everything she wishes. I thought that while using a knife to cut out the portion of the sheet where the red stain remained. However, after remembering it, Sylphy has not told me what she expects from the future. If I'm not being overly self-conscious, then the feeling that she wants to be together with me has been conveyed. However, she never put that into words. It could be that she's concerned with her job as a guard for Princess Ariel. After all, it seems like there's a necessity to talk with Princess Ariel for once. The cut-off piece of the sheet was placed in a small box that I made with earth magic and left in the shrine. I put my hands together in prayer. Finally, I feel like I've returned to being a person. Part 2 I showed my face in the once-in-a-month homeroom. Same as always, Nanahoshi was nowhere to be seen. Good morning, Shisho. Good morning, Grand Master. Zenoba and Julie were lined up as they greeted me. I just thought it, but Julie is fairly cute. I think she was 7 years old this year. She's still far from my strike zone, but her long flowing, orange-colored hair is cute. I brush her head. Julie looked up at me surprised, then quickly after she casted her eyes downwards, her body started trembling. It seems she's still afraid. Even though I don't plan to take her and eat her alive. Good morning, Zenoba, Julie. After I greeted them, Zenoba tilted his head and said, "Oh, Shisho, did something good happen?" Yes. So he realized it. Zenoba was worried about it. Normally, after all, I'd like to report it to him soon, but saying that my ed is completely cured, how I go about saying it is difficult. I can't speak of Sylphy's identity. If I were to say that Fitz Senpai helped me out with it, they might come to some kind of strange misunderstanding. While I was thinking that, I went towards my seat. "Oh, boss, good morning Nia. Good morning Nano, Mogu. Rinia and Pursena were sitting the same as always. Rinia was sitting with those young and lustrous legs on top of the desk. Pursena had that voluptuous flesh packed tightly into her uniform as she stiffly chewed the dried meat. Thinking back to it, I've already confirmed the growth of these two's gigantic peaks, pulled down their wet panties, and had a look at the utopia hidden underneath, haven't I? After thinking that, somehow these two look a bit more charming. Nia, Faku Nano. When I got near them, the two suddenly held down their noses, stood up and moved away from me. It's a bit of a shock. Is it that one scent? I've finally revived for the first time in several years. It's a refreshing feeling, like wearing new underwear for the first in 3 years. Certainly, the scent of sexual excitement must be pretty intense as well. What should we do, Nano? The boss has finally reached the end of his patience. Didn't you have an illness, Nia? It's because of my charm, Nano. I'm a sinful woman, Nano. Then Pursena become the sacrifice, Nia. Leave things about our hometown to me, Nia. No, actually he might be craving for Rinia. If you become the woman of the boss, the world might be in your hands, you know, Nia. You can eat all the meat you want every day, Nia. It can't be helped, it's for the sake of protecting Rinia, Nano. It seems after they finished their conversation, Pursena came before me after gathering her resolve. And then, she blinked her eyes all lovely like and pushed out her chest, putting emphasis on it. Uffun, Nano, I'd like you to treat me preciously. Oh, ouch. I chopped her. I felt like I was being made fun of. What do you mean, Uffun? Well, please take a seat. I won't take you and eat you whole. After saying that, Pursena curled up her tail while holding her head and sat next to me. Not proceeding to a place where my hands can't reach, how unusual. In reverse, Rinia slowly walked up and sat in somewhat of a place my hands couldn't reach. This side is being unusually cautious. The usual distance has been reversed. Rudeus, what's going on? You look different than usual. Cliff tilted his head as well. I thought I was acting as I normally do, but I wonder if it's that different. After all, when a man has something shaved off, he appears different on the outside. No, it's not like it was my first time after all. How am I different? Somehow, you're overflowing with self-confidence, is how you look. After sending a glance towards Zenoba, he nodded as well. Self-confidence. After hearing such words, I remembered the words of the human god, Hitagami. You'll recover your self-confidence as a man. So it's like this, huh? I can't really feel the difference, but I guess I look different when looking from outside, huh? Everyone, thank you very much until now. I can't say the details, but the other day, that has been cured. After declaring that, everyone raised their voices with an "oh." Zenoba nodded as if he was convinced of it, and Cliff patted my shoulder. Rinia and Pursena were exchanging looks. Julie tilted her head with a face like she didn't really get it. In any case, congratulations, isn't it? Right. Congratulations, Shisho. Congratulations, Nano. Congratulations, Nia. For some reason I received an applause. It's certainly something happy for me, but it's somehow a bit embarrassing. It's almost like the end of the story. As a matter of fact, these congratulations, I'm being told, they better not be just before I'm about to die. But, if boss has been cured, then it's a crisis, Nia. The chastity of all the female students is in danger, Nia. Rinia brought up such an impolite thing. That's rude. I'm a gentleman, you know. I won't lay my hands on anyone other than Sylphy. And then here I once again made my determination as such. Part 3. After homeroom, I went to the staff member's room. I need to apply for supplementary lessons for the days missed on the journey the other day. After I went into the staff member's room, the atmosphere suddenly trembled. After all, looking from outside, it seems like people feel something has changed. It's a bit embarrassing, almost as if everyone already knows I've done it with Sylphy. Just as I was thinking that, Vice Principal Gina's called out to me. Rudeus-san, has something happened? Just a problem I have been troubled over for these past 3 years has been resolved and I'm feeling refreshed. I see, that is excellent. Vice Principal Gina's nodded, and then made a bitter smile. Since it comes down to that, could it be, you're thinking of leaving this university? I tilted my head after hearing Vice Principal Gina's words. However, after thinking about it, certainly, I've achieved my original objective for entering this university. I did come for that sake. Now that I've achieved that, in order to reunite with my family, wouldn't it be better to go to Beggarito? However, in this past year, a variety of other things have happened. I met Zenoba, purchased Julie, got along together with Rinia and Pursena, and made a connection with Cliff as well. And then Nanahoshi. I have the feeling there was some kind of meaning to my meeting with her. To the point where I think that the human god, Hitagami, had me come here for the sake of encountering her. In his regards, my reunion with Sylphy might have just been an occasion. However, the most important one for me is Sylphy. Now that I know she's here, I can't very well leave. I want to be here to protect her if the time ever comes to it as well. If it comes to being the guard of a princess, then I'm sure there will be dangerous things as well. Even with my poor ability, I want to be her strength. However, if I remember correctly, Princess Ariel is currently a 5th-year student. I wonder what she's going to do after graduation. Well, I'm sure she'll remain here until graduation. For the time being, I do send letters to Paul and the others at a fixed period. I have no way of checking if they've reached them though. However, it's been a year since then. If I were to start moving now, the probability of differences in the situation coming up are high. It would be amateurish to quickly change my plan when it might not provide any significant result. Is what the resourceful salaryman who can get over 30 new contracts in single day once said. I should still wait for now. No, I don't know if I'll remain here until I graduate, but I think I'll remain enrolled for several more years. I see, that is excellent. The vice principal made a bitter smile. I wonder if he's happy or unhappy. It's a bitter smile I can't really figure out. Part 4. Nanahoshi was the same as always. She probably never had any consideration for me in the first place. Our conversations were always minimal. When I talk with her, there are times when I can feel the generation gap in our conversation. The other day as well, when I brought up the topic of a certain female middle school student who changed with the moon and goes out to punish evil doers, she tilted her head and said, "What is that?" It seems the recent young ones don't know the legend of the moonlight. In our generation, even if you've never seen it, you should at least know the name. However, if they aren't an otaku, I guess that also can't really be helped. I thought that, but it seems while it's not at the level of a heavy otaku like me, she still has read some amount of manga and light novels. Even though she's such a child, she still doesn't know. Since that was the case, I thought maybe it could be that she didn't know the story about collecting the 7 balls of the dragon and asked, but it seems she knows that one. During the time we were in our old world, Nanahoshi was 17 years old in comparison to my 34 years old. There's a difference of 2 times. Presently it's even further apart. It can't really be helped. It's certainly a generation gap. If I think about the broadcasting period, then I guess it's only natural, but when I tried to talk to her about it in reality, she was confused. It's because she's such a Nanahoshi. That might be why I let my mouth slide. Nanahoshi-san, if you were to go out with someone, What would you wish for from that partner? Nanahoshi's hand slipped as she was writing, and then she crumpled up the paper she was writing on into a circle and threw it away. What are you suddenly bringing up? Love talk? Something similar. You know, I want to hurry up and return. Won't you please take this seriously? You're always talking about nothing but idle chatter. If you were to shut up and move your hands, the efficiency would go up that much, you know? She was saying something like this, but I know Nanahoshi doesn't particularly hate idle chat. Actually, up until now she's always worked while talking about things bit by bit unless it was something very terrible. The fact that she's suddenly using this way of talking means, Nanahoshi-san is that, a person with no experience in love? Che. She grandly clicked her tongue at me. Even I have a person I like. We fought, though it was just that. Come to think of it, I believe Nanahoshi was summoned right in the middle of a lover's quarrel, wasn't she? I guess she liked one of those two, or else, she couldn't pick either of them and it had become a reverse harem situation, though I don't really know. Whether it be apologizing or continuing the fight, it is certain that she has to return first. Come to think of it, I wonder if the probability is high that those two were summoned as well. Since I haven't heard any rumors outside of Nanahoshi, I think the probability that they didn't come is high as well. Although, if you were to be thrown into this world without magic power, for a high school student to survive without help from anyone is... No, this isn't something I should say to her. Possibly, Nanahoshi might have already considered something like that. That the only reason she managed to survive this far was because her luck was good. And then, what would have happened if her luck had been bad? Nanahoshi bent her mouth into the character he and responded. A person you like, normally you would be happy just by being together with them. It seemed heartbreaking. It would have been better if I hadn't asked. That's it guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want more and don't forget to like the videos.